Hey guys, and thanks for joining me in this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette, and this is the second time that I'm filming this review because I made a mistake the first time. Anyways, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about right now. Before that, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Angela and I love talking about luxury, beauty and fragrances. If that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss any new videos. So, Urban Decay Naked palette. If you're following me on Instagram, you probably already know that I was not happy with this palette. And one of the reasons why I really don't like when YouTubers make first impression reviews is that we make mistakes. We usually either like a palette that is not that exceptional and we start raving about palette that is not that exceptional, or we say, oh, I don't like it. Again, we just don't give it enough time. Sometimes with makeup products, and actually always with makeup products, it's best if you try a palette for a few days, a week even, before filming a review and not just rushing to put up a review of a product, because that's how we might mislead people, and that's why I usually don't do first impression reviews. I was quite negative about this palette. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how I'm gonna swatch everything with a brush. So this is obviously a base color. Let me go ahead and see better. Okay, so this is the first color. And obviously you're not gonna see it. I'm going to be cleaning the brush after each swatch, and this is the second color. You're gonna see it if you look carefully. It's a light peach color, and this one is okay. Then comes Dazed. And as you can see, I just have to dip the brush a lot of times to get the color. And this color is good, actually. Let me clean the brush now. But let's take a look at VR and see what's happening now. So it's not gonna show up. So let me go ahead and load the brush again. It's just like, literally I have to scrub the color so that it can show up. And that's everything that I'm getting. But I literally have to scrub the color to get some color. And take a look at this color, for example. Warning, if I just dip the brush like that and try to swatch it, I barely get a swatch. So I have to really work here to get the color. So this is what I don't like about this palette. Okay, so I want to show you first the packaging, because the packaging is very beautiful and I showed this. No doubt the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. It is very, very beautiful. I think that this is probably the most beautiful packaging that I have. I have 3 other Naked palettes by Urban Decay. And initially, when I got this palette and when I swatched it, I was not happy with the way the colors performed, because I was swatching them with a finger, with a brush, and they didn't appear that intense. However, on the swatches on my hand, they don't appear very impressive or very intense. However, when I started using the palette on my eyes, the colors appear really, really good and very intense, and it's very quickly to create a colorful and violet look with this palette. I think that for a lot of people this is going to be a great palette. I'm not usually the kind of person who creates very colorful looks, but the palette is definitely good. Now the issue that I had with this palette is that it didn't swatch. I was not able to swatch it beautifully on my arm. So the arm swatches are not very beautiful because the eyeshadows here in this palette are quite dense and kind of hard. So you have to use a dense brush when you are using the colors, and you have to use primer on your eyelids for sure. And the colors appear very vibrant and very beautiful. But on the arm swatches, they don't appear great. And I always do my swatches in natural light because I don't want to use my beauty lights. I don't want to use additional lighting so that I can make the swatches look beautiful just for the review or just for you. I think that it's most useful if I show you how the swatches really look in natural light. And in natural light and during the day, you're going to see that the palette doesn't swatch well. And if I start swatching the colors with my brush on my arm, the swatches look absolutely terrible. Now all of the colors in this palette are quite dense, so it's a little bit hard to pick them up. You have to use the right brush. So the matte colors are soft and you can swatch them easily, but there are not many matte colors here. Most of the colors are kind of, I wouldn't say shimmery, but they have some kind of a sheen to shimmer. So these colors are best if you apply them with a finger or with a very dense and firm brush so that you can really get the color. But once applied on the eyes, the colors look really beautiful. Now, the only color that I really don't like and I couldn't find a way to use is VR because it is a very, very firm. I was frustrated because I had high hopes about this color and it doesn't appear at all. So this is the only color from this palette that I can't really use and I don't use because it doesn't show up on my eyelids. It's not like a topper, it's just a color that doesn't show up on my eyelids. And it's very transparent, and I think that this is the only color that is not the best quality. Now in terms of quality, this eyeshadow palette in the beginning I thought that it was very poor quality because it's not, the eyeshadows are not the same as my previous 3 Urban Decay Naked palettes. The consistency and the formulation of the eyeshadows is obviously different. However, on the eyes they appear quite vibrant, and you can see right now I'm wearing some of the purple eyeshadows here, and my makeup is quite vibrant. They blend quite easy and they don't have a lot of fallout, so they almost don't have fallout. Only some of the matte colors have fallout, but that's to be expected with dark colors. So obviously, if you're following me on Instagram, I show you the products first, and I show you all of the products that I'm buying. Usually I show them first on Instagram, and yeah, I made a mistake. I said that the palette is not good, the quality is not great, but actually you can create a lot of different looks, and if you like purple colors or kind of that kind of violet colors, I think that this is a beautiful palette. For as long as I have this channel, I'm always going to be honest with you, and it's a good palette. If you like the colors, it's a good palette. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that the formulation is a little bit different than the previous Naked palettes. The colors are a little bit more firm, actually more firm, a lot more firm. So you just have to work a little bit more to get the color. Also, I have very sensitive eyes, and my eyes easily get irritated with some eyeshadows, like for example Pat McGrath eyeshadows. Some of the colors of Pat McGrath irritate my eyes terribly, to the point where I have to use eye drops, and I have to go to a doctor. It happened to me a few times. Here I don't have any problems. Now, one last thing that I really didn't like about this palette, and I had a very bad experience with this palette. When I first opened the palette, on the palette around here and also on the mirror, there was powder, there was eyeshadows. So the whole palette was messy. It was not used, it was new. completely new. However, something happened obviously with the palette. Obviously this is in the production process, something happened with my palette. I had eyeshadows all around here and also on the mirror. Everything was completely messy, and this was something that made me quite angry. I didn't like that, even though I wiped that immediately. Still, I had to clean the palette, and this was kind of a bad first impression. This was kind of a bad start with the palette, because when you're buying an expensive palette, you expect everything to be right, and you don't expect to open the palette and see all this powder on the mirror and around. It was just a mess, and probably that was something that started me quite negatively about this palette. So I'm going to start with Hacked, and I'm going to lightly dust this color in my crease. And also the outer part of my V. And this is a color that I like, actually. You can see I can get the color very easy. I'm gonna use this color. Moving on to Dazed. And I'm gonna take this color with my finger because this is going to make the application a lot easier. Of course, if you want, you can use a flat brush and apply this color. This color is quite easy to apply. So let me use a brush actually to show you. Just the color is not going to be as vibrant as if you use your finger. Okay, so now I wish I could use the VR color, but it simply doesn't show up on my eyelids, and whatever I do, it doesn't show up on my eyelids. So I'm gonna skip this color, but I would love to use it like here. But then I'm gonna be using the darkest color here. I'm gonna use a crease brush, and I am going to use it only on the very outer part of my V, just to intensify the look a little bit. Now I'm going to be using Hacked on my lower lash line, and then I'm mixing it with a little bit of Digital, which is the darkest color. Okay, and this is going to be the first look. I just applied some mascara and that's it. I kept this very, very simple and very easy, and I like these two colors. Of course, you can get a lot more creative with this palette because it has a lot of colors. And now let me use some of the purple colors. And for the next look, I'm going to be using Purple Dust. And I'm going to apply this color all over my mobile eyelid, and I'm going to slowly build up the color. And I'm going to keep the color only on my mobile eyelid. So as you can see, I don't get the color immediately. I have to work the color a little bit to get even color. But other than that, the color is very beautiful. It's just that I have to work a little bit to get even coverage of the color. The good thing is that these eyeshadows don't have fallout, almost don't have fallout. And if you work carefully, they are quite dense, almost like a gel to powder texture. So keep building up the color, and as you can see, this is a very beautiful purple color. So for those of you who like purple, I think that this is really, really good. Next, I'm going to be taking Euphoric right here. And I'm going to be applying, actually I'm going to change the brush. And I'm going to be applying Euphoric slowly on top of purple dust and up in the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to be using Optimized in the inner corner of my eye, and I'm going to drag it a little bit. Okay, then for my crease, I'm going to be using the darkest color right here. And I'm going to try and focus this color only on the very outer part of my crease. And as you can see, if you work a little bit, the colors are actually beautiful. It's just that with some colors you have to work a little bit more. And so, as I said in the beginning, it's not a bad palette. It's actually a very good palette, and if it's in the right hands, I think that this can be absolutely exceptional palette, but I'm just not extremely happy with the quality of the eyeshadows. I think I expected more. And then on my lower lash line, I'm going to be using this color and these two colors. Okay, and this is the other look. So let me go ahead and show you. And of course you can get a lot more creative with these looks. I am creating these looks very, very quickly. Like for this eye, it took me less than 5 minutes, and for this eye, approximately 3 minutes or so. So you can get a lot more creative here. I know that there are people who create amazing makeup looks. It's just not my thing. It's just not what I do. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this palette. Are you planning to buy it, or do you have this palette? And share with me your thoughts. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!